in that respect?
A lot, because it's completely true that he's had very, very, very good seasons at Liverpool. But this one probably stands out in terms of numbers. And if you add to that we also won the league, that would probably give him a fair chance. But fortunately for all the football fans around the world, he's not the only player that has had a great season. So I think we were able to watch many great football players this season again. But if there's ever a chance for him, it would be this season. If not, then he's going to try and push even harder next season. That's what I already know with him.
That'd be some task improving on this season for him.
In terms of individual performance, that would be hardly impossible, although never say that something is impossible for Mo, because he's proven that he can always raise his game even further. And that's, I think, also the elite mentality that a star player should have. Never be satisfied with where you are. And that's the mentality he has. In terms of team, we can do a bit better, because we've played for 4 trophies and we've only won one. The biggest, that's true.
But obviously Sunday and Monday we're looking
No,
at
the hardest, I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe the biggest, you can always debate on that, but the hardest, yeah.
Obviously Sunday and Monday we're looking at a celebration. I know there's a game to play as well. What concerns do you have that the celebration could be overshadowed by any adverse reaction to Trent? And are you likely to give him 5 minutes or longer to say that goodbye? Or?
I haven't decided on that one yet, but I think this should be a day that everybody is going to enjoy. It's been 35 years. Everybody is waiting for this moment, or everybody, but the Liverpool fans are waiting for this moment. And I think we've set the example against Tottenham. I don't think I've ever been part of I've ever seen celebration in a nicer way done than that day. Everybody, and that's what one of the 2 things that make me emotional is. One of them was how we arrived at the stadium when the fans were singing for us, and the second one is that I've met in the last few weeks multiple people telling me I'm going to Anfield now for all my life, but I've never felt a day what was more special than that one, Tottenham at home. So I am hoping that we can add a moment like this to it, and I think everybody that's in the stadium deserves to be there. The fans, the staff, but also the players, and one of my players is Trent, so he definitely deserves to be there as well, because he's been part of an incredible successful season and incredible successful years at this club. So yeah, I can only hope that we do it one more time over what we did against Tottenham, and I have a lot of trust in our fans to do the same again.
It's fitting, obviously finishing the season against the FA Cup winners, but I just wonder what your overriding emotion will be when you and your players go up and finally lift that Premier League trophy as well. Your predecessor as well, of course.
Sorry?
In front of you.
Yeah, I've heard he's there. Yeah, it's nice. Proud, special, but I think proud sums up the most, because after working here for a year now, I know even better how hard it is. That's why I just said it's the hardest trophy to win, because cup trophies, you doesn't have to be, you can win those by a lucky draw or being lucky in 2 or 3 games, by maybe winning a penalty shootout, and then all of a sudden you arrive in the final. But it's always harder to win the league because it's 38 games, and in a period of time where the league has never been as strong as it is. I don't think there's ever been so much competition, even for teams even to go to the Champions League. So that and there's never been a season where the number 16 and 17 or 15 and 16 of the Premier League play in a final against each other in the Europa League. So that's what makes it so hard. So that would definitely be a proud moment for me and for the players, and also for our fans. So let's hope it's also going to be a special one.
Alan Hansen presenting the trophy to you on Saturday, who is a brilliant broadcaster as well as a phenomenal footballer. He was part of a team, a squad that won 8 league titles in a decade.
Not too bad.
Off the back of what we've just seen Manchester City do as well, you stopping that, what is the potential of your team? Do you think that you've got the potential, maybe not to get 8 and 10 years, or maybe you kind of don't know? What can they achieve?
Now I think we have a lot to compete next season again. But what I don't know yet, and that's going to be the interesting one, is if we have this elite mentality, this serial winner mentality of showing up season after season after season. And I think I get the answer already on the 8th of July when we come back together to see in what shape the players are, because many teams have won the Premier League once, but not many have won them multiple seasons in a row, and that's for a reason. First of all, because it's so difficult. Second of all, that not every player has this elite mentality. When I talk about Mo, it's not a coincidence that he's for 7 years already on a certain level. And last season he was the one that was the most fittest when we arrived back after the break. So that is a mentality you need to have a chance of becoming a serial winner, and this is something we have to prove, and the players have to prove, and me as well, during the off season. And the first day for me to judge if we have a chance to become serial winners is the 8th of July when I see them back.
And just in terms of the players, I'm just wondering how they all are ahead of this one, and in particular, it was nice to see Joe Gomez, who's probably one of the nicest people on the planet.
Indeed.
Back in the squad and on the bench last week, and his next appearance will be his 150th for Liverpool. Is he ready to make that this weekend?
Last weekend he was there with the team, but he was not able to play yet. He didn't tick all the boxes yet, but I think there was a spot open or left, so it was for me a moment where I could show my gratitude towards him for what he's done on the pitch for us, but also off the pitch. And this is also something I want to address with Trent, because for a fan, these players are all professionals, or the players, but for me as a manager, they're not only the player, but they're also the human being. And like you say, and that's what you know, and I think maybe the fans as well, but Joe Gomez is indeed one of the nicest persons you can meet. But he's also inspiring his teammates when he's not playing. So he has had more impact on our success than the outside world might probably know. So I'm hoping that he can make some minutes tomorrow if he ticks all the boxes this week.
Thank you.
Sunday, not tomorrow.
Arne, it's been a fabulous first season for you, and you've made the point that you inherited a wonderful squad from Jurgen Klopp. But quite a few of the individual players at Liverpool, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk, and also Mo Salah, have made the point that you've changed their game in some way. You've tried to add something. So what is it that you have in your coaching toolbox that sort of enables elite players to get even better on a day-to-day basis? What do you use to sort of to get those sort of improvements?
I can only tell you what I did, and I'm quite sure, I would say 99.9, but maybe even 100% that Jurgen did the same things. But if you are 8 or 9 years together and working for a long time together with the players, that's going to happen with me as well. Maybe at a certain moment players get a little bit more used to the things you tell them. So we always, all managers, we try to inspire them to get the best out of them every 3 days, to and the best, I mean, in work rate, in quality. And we always try to let the team play better together, and as a result of that, the individual looks much better. And every manager has his own way of doing these things. So I've said many times there are many similarities between the two of us, but it would be a completely surprise to me that if every team meeting of Jurgen and me were exactly the same, and the way we inspire and the way we do things. So it's maybe just a new face in front of them, not better, not worse, just new. That lifted them maybe a little bit, not a lot, because Mo, Virgil and Trent have been outstanding for this club for all these years Jurgen was here, and they've been outstanding this season as well.
As far as Sunday is concerned, it's going to be a really memorable day, whatever happens. But in the 3 games since the title was yours, against Chelsea there were some good moments, the same against Arsenal. and last in Monday night against Brighton, but you haven't been able to come up with the win.
True.
It will be much more memorable if you can sign off with the victory in front of the fans, just to make it an even more special occasion.
Yeah.
What's going to enable you to make that happen?
Now we need to do maybe a few things better, but in my opinion we've done a lot of things very good in all these 3 games. But unfortunately, or maybe the good thing for us was that we had to play these games in the end of the season, and I'm still really happy with the fact that we already won the league, because Chelsea away is for everyone a difficult game. Arsenal at home is for everyone a difficult game, and Brighton away is for everyone a difficult game as well. We're not the first and we will not be the last that lose at Brighton or lose at Chelsea away. So I've seen many good things throughout these 3 games, but conceded 3 against Chelsea, conceded 2 against Arsenal, conceded 3 against Brighton. That's not of our standards throughout the whole season. So that maybe it's always been a thin line, all these games we've played, but normally we don't concede 8 goals in 3 games. So that tells you that maybe in terms of work rate, the runs we make, the distance we run, and all this is all similar. So no one can tell us that we switched off. But blocking a cross, blocking a shot, throw yourself in front of a ball, that is maybe 1 or 2% less, and then immediately this league hurts you, especially if you play Chelsea, Arsenal, and Brighton. I think all 3 games we were close of winning it. We didn't, because we faced 3 very good teams, and we're indeed hoping we can win on Sunday. But we're gonna face a strong team, because this team won against City, and am I correct if I say no? They had a draw against Arsenal away. So that is what sometimes happens. Maybe we've been lucky that we've had the other games earlier on in the season, and that we've built up a margin that we did. That is no luck, by the way. That was work rate. You're welcome.
Carl?
Sorry to bring it back to Trent again, but have you spoken to him about the reaction he got last time he was at Anfield, and also talked about his expectations for this weekend?
No, I think I've said multiple times that I talk to most players, not on a daily basis, but a lot. And especially if there are circumstances why I should talk to them, then you talk a little bit more often to them. And it's clear that in Trent's situation there are circumstances for me to talk more with him than with Virgil, for example. So yes, I am talking to him, and I think that is the biggest difference between me and all the ones that have a purple bin. That I speak to the human being, Trent Alexander-Arnold, every day, and that, I think, combined with winning something together, creates a different bond than maybe the fans have with him. So yeah, I do talk to him quite a lot, actually. Although when we started pre-season, he was quite a lot in my office as well, for other reasons. And now he's in my office a few times as well.
Expand on those other reasons?
Sorry?
Expand on those other reasons?
I think Mo said already a few things about why he was in my office in pre-season, and there were similar reasons why Trent was in my office in the beginning of the season. That's what you meant, or you meant the? Yeah.
He was coming to see you about it. I assumed that he was first choice anyway, so I wondered what the conversation was. Did he need to come and see you in pre-season?
No, maybe he said it himself, and he's gonna leave either way. So why not telling it? So maybe it's already a first gift I can give Xabi Alonso. But I wasn't completely happy with every single minute how he was on the training ground. So, in my opinion, he could, in certain moments, he could do a bit more. To say it mildly, and that's what we talked about. Combined with that, I said to him, "You're a much better defender than everybody tells you. Unfortunately, you don't show it all the time, and that's why people sometimes say you're not this is a part of your game you need to improve. But if you are just at it and you're focused and concentrated, there are not many players that can go around him, because he's fast, he's agile, he has great mentality. But yeah, it's about showing that every single game, because in this world we are judged not only on the 34 games we do well, we are mainly judged on the 4 games that we don't do so well. So yeah, these things we spoke about in pre-season.
Monday.
Hi, Arne. Barcelona sporting director Deco said how much they like Luis Diaz. Just wondered what you thought about that, and how much do you want to keep Diaz at the club?
Did he say this in front of a microphone, or is that from hearsaying that he said this? Quotes of him. Okay. Yeah, every club has his own way of doing things. I think you're used to the fact that I don't talk about players from other clubs that we haven't signed. So yeah, I understand that he's a big admirer of Lucio Diaz, because I'm a big admirer of him as well. He's a great player, having a great season. So yeah, if he just meant it that way, then he probably would have added to that he's an admirer of Mo Salah and Cody Gakpo as well, or didn't he?
Marcus Rashford.
Oh, Marcus Rashford. That's what I mean. He just said he admires a few players, which we all do. I admire Lamine Jamal and Rafinha a lot as well, by the way.
No, last one for the
Hi, Arne. We saw against Brighton, Dom Soboslai was playing a little bit deeper as a number 8, and you mentioned before the game that he actually sees this as one of his favourite positions. I wondered, had you had that conversation across the season with you about giving him a chance in that position, and how did you feel like he did?
No, as many players did, we as a team played a good game. Unfortunately, Brighton played a very good game as well. So it was a close call. I think he had a great pass towards Mo, which was the lead up to the first goal. He played a good game, nothing new to see. Just interesting more to see the dynamic on the midfield with Harvey, Dom, and Ryan in behind him. If he wants to play in that position, he is in big competition, because I'm also an admirer of McAllister. So, but also of Dom, by the way. It was interesting to see, but not much more than that.
It really will be. Now, Liverpool haven't won since wrapping up the trophy against Spurs. That's not going to happen on Sunday, surely.
To be honest with you, I don't think they care either way. I think it was an old singer called Russ Abbott who said he loves a party with a happy atmosphere. And I think that's what it's going to be on Sunday. Yeah. Both teams, both winners, both being able to defy the odds, because nobody tipped Liverpool at the start of the season to win the Turek Trophy. And even fewer people tipped Crystal Palace to win the FA Cup. So I think as far as both teams are concerned, they will just want to go out and have some fun. Ironically, it was against Liverpool that the last Crystal Palace team to get to an FA Cup final just fell short. They had those epic encounters, of course, with Wrighty and Brighty and all of the other guys. But this Palace side have written a new chapter in the history of the club, a winning chapter. They're into Europe as well, so they too will go into this match absolutely not really caring too much about the result and just wanting to give the credit they deserve to the players.
So party atmosphere at Anfield.
Oh, 100%. I mean, the last time they lifted it, there was no one there, you know, so it'd be great for, I can tell them it's very good at Anfield when you lift the trophy, when it's a full house. Not many of us have done it. So they're going to enjoy that one for sure. I think when that engraving took place, it must have been about April, was it? This has been done for a very long time. They've absolutely cruised to the Premier League title, and they thoroughly deserve it. Got some of the outstanding players. Gakpo's been wonderful as well. See Trent there. They won't see money crosses like that coming in the future, but they might have to replace him. They're going to have to go to the market. I'm sure they will. They will, and they will strengthen. They'll be the team to beat.
Jeremy
again.
Frimpong, haven't they? 5 goals last season, 15 goals the season before. He's been a terrific performer for Bayer Leverkusen. I'm not quite sure he's got the quality of Trent.
Not that range,
no, exactly, and the versatility as well. But he is still a really good asset, and it'll be interesting because they'll have him and Conor Bradley in that right-sided position at fullback.
If you had to put it down to one thing, and I know it's hard to do, why are Liverpool head and shoulders above the rest of the league this season?
I think they've been fortunate, and they have had their injuries, but I think they've been fortunate on that side. But they have got a good group of players. I mean, even when Alisson was out for a long period, you think, wow, now Keller stepped in and must look like he needs to be playing on a regular basis in the Premier League. So they've always stepped in and done the job. You're talking about Conor Bradley. When Trent's been out, he's stepped in. The midfield has been outstanding. I think the balance and the cocktail in there, you know, Szoboszlai's been wonderful. McAllister, you know, and Gravenberch, a little tweak in his position, putting him back to the 6. They've got leaders and they've got players who have done it before. So they know the journey, they know what it takes, and they've almost shown the manager as well. To give the manager credit, he is the manager of the season. Anyone who wins the Premier League over that amount of games should win that trophy, in my opinion. And he quite rightly will win it. And what he's done is not a lot. And I'm giving him a big compliment for that. He recognised that it wasn't broke. So why should he fix it and try to poke his nose into everything? I think he just left it alone. We felt like a Dutch manager, not tarnishing them with the same brush, but sometimes they want to reinvent when they come in. They want to be a little bit too tricky. He was like, nothing of the sort. We've got a few disgruntled players. Mo Salah, who's going to be our superstar, was one. I would suggest him and Jurgen Klopp looked like the relationship was broken down. I think if Jurgen would have stayed, he would have gone. But he got him on side, and not only that, he's got him and Virgil van Dijk to sign new contracts. Obviously, he couldn't persuade Trent, and I think he would have done if Real Madrid wasn't there. So you have to give him a lot of credit. And I just think it's the experience of being there and the quality what they've got in depth.
Darren, what about Crystal Palace? Sensational season for them, of course, winning that trophy. And Eze, who we've already mentioned, potentially now, we don't know, but it's silly season is upon us, transfer season is upon us. He's been sensational for them, and they've been quite brilliant under Oliver Glasner, despite starting the season quite poorly.
Yeah, one Premier League win in their first 5 months. And I can tell you one or two clubs that would have sacked him for a run like that. Yeah. But they knew what they had. He finished last season very strongly. He won the Europa League with Eintracht Frankfurt, got them into the Champions League. And also there were reasons. I interviewed Chris Richards, their central defender, in the days leading up to the FA Cup, and he was explaining to me that they lost players ahead of this season. There was a bereavement for one of their key players, the goalkeeper, Dean Henderson, as well. They were just an unsettled squad at the start of the season, but there's a real camaraderie in that squad as well. And if you align that with the quality of their manager as well, you can see why things started to pick up in the second half of the season. He said that they went back to basics and they managed to get that defensive base. 52 points now they've picked up so far this season. That's a record as far as Palace are concerned. That speaks to the job that he's done. He hasn't just won an FA Cup and thrown the league away. They've been absolutely terrific in the second half of the campaign.
Well, before we go to the break, just to remind you, I did say Mo Salah had one more record to break. He's on 46 goal involvements for the season. The record is 47. Welcome back to Team Talks. End of the season means it's time for, drumroll please, the Team Talks Season Awards. And we're going to start with Best Goal of the Season. Tim Sherwood, take us away.
Well, my best goal, I'm going to go with Cunha.
Okay.
A second goal he scores away at Fulham. They were struggling at the time, Gary O'Neill, but to be able to see that before it doesn't even look, you see. He knows what's on offer. There's a quick little glimpse, and to be able to execute that. I think we see a lot of goals when people strike it from outside the box, just pace and just put their foot through it. Long before that, I was a huge admirer of him, but when he started delivering goals of that quality, and he never stopped, to be fair, right until the end of the season. That's why he's not going to be at Wolves next year.
Darren, which goal have you gone for as the best?
The key word from what you just said is technique, and I'm going to talk about that with Mitoma, Karan Mitoma's superb strike against Chelsea. And look at the ball over the top first of all. It's going to take some control, but he manages it, and then he brings it into a position where he can stroke it past the keeper. That is Bergkamp-esque. It may even be De Bruyne-esque as well. He's a superb player who's done lots of terrific things, but that is one of the best. And I think you have to go a long, long way to beat that strike.
Yeah, it was a Friday night game. I remember being in studio for the reaction immediately after. We couldn't believe what we were seeing. What is your best moment of the season?
My best moment is a man we're not going to see in the Premier League. Well, I believe we're not going to see him. It's Jamie Vardy's 200 goal for for Leicester in 500 games. Just the numbers. I mean, just the timing of his run here. See how he's slow. He knows he can't run quick to get there. Then he changes pace, and that is a typical Vardy goal. And I just think he's wrote his own script there, and it's just incredible. And I was pleased that he did it. Actually, he will not be playing the last game of the season on Sunday, but he doesn't want it anymore. That is him. That is him all over. That's in front of the away fans. He is an absolute scourge of away support, isn't he?
100%.
I mean, he loves it. They give him so much stick. They love to just get on his back, but he just answers them in that way time and time again. For me, should be in the Premier League still, in a good side.
200 goals in 500 games, all nice round numbers, and that's it. He signs off. What was your best moment?
Well, it's a guy who really, you have to start describing as the big kahuna, because Ange Postecoglou, after the defeat to Arsenal, came out with that famous saying, I always win something in my second season, and he lived up to it. It's fantastic from him. Look at him now, milking it, drinking it in. I'm surprised that he didn't turn up to his post-match press conference in a fur coat with a cigar. Please don't smoke, because I think he has absolutely vindicated himself and shoved one in the eye of all of the people who believed that he wouldn't do it. They're into the Champions League. They've won a first major trophy in 17 years, and their first UEFA Cup, Europa League, since 1984. This guy, yeah, you can see why he looks so satisfied.
Yeah, if you don't know how manifestation works, Postecoglou has shown everybody. Nobody believed it. Where they are in the Premier League, 17th and with a trophy.
I think it was Mick Jagger who said you can't get no satisfaction. I think you can.
Live scenes there from the Tottenham parade, and we will get to it. But who, final award, is your best player of the season?
Mo Salah. I think without Virgil van Dijk was outstanding for him as well. Szoboszlai as well, but the numbers where he continues to stick on the board, just incredible. The assists, the goals, the turning up on big occasions you see there against Arsenal and here against Brighton. I mean, he's just a magician. He's absolute.
Do you know, so that you don't have to ask me, I'm just going to agree with Tim, because I think he's absolutely right with every word that he has just said. The goals, the touch, the quality, the opposition he scored against, the composure. There are so many adjectives and superlatives you could throw his way, and he lives up to every single one. He is established himself as a Premier League legend. He's a king in his part of the world, on his continent. He's just a giant.
And he doesn't play well every game. He doesn't have to play well. But when you look in the paper, see who scored the goals, see who on the assists, it always affects the football match, and that's what you need. When you're going for titles, you need someone who's your big player to stick the ball in the back of the net. That's why we've said it year on, year out now. For the last 2 or 3, Arsenal need someone to put the ball in the back of the net. It doesn't have to be a 9, but it has to be someone like Salah who turns up on a big occasion and puts them numbers together. 20-plus goals, what he's scoring, season in, season out. Just a genius, a pleasure to talk about.
Breaking records every week as Mo Salah equalled the record for the most Football Writers Association awards last night. 3 equal with Thierry Henry. So Mo Salah's got one more record to break, but we'll equal, perhaps break. We'll talk about that because...
Ya saltan 1K y el barrio. Es determinante cuánto daño puede hacer el conjunto de 1K, sobre todo con Granero en esas primeras de cambio en la salida de escalera. Así que esa parte del partido va a ser absolutamente clave para el equipo de Iker Casillas. Por cierto, felicitar porque ha venido una buena afición de 1K.
Tiene la pelota, Gerard Noya encara, sigue Noya, dispara, Arnold.
80 paradas.
paradas ya para Arnold. Gil Vidal ataca desde la derecha el número 9. Gil Vidal con el centro, buena pelota, Arche, con la rodilla le pegó. Pues es el que desatasca un poco el partido, ¿no? Con centros, ojo ahí, se golpeó, el remate, ¡gol! ¡Mar Valiente! ¡Gol! Del Barrio, marca Mar Valiente. Esa banda izquierda que es terreno de los cañonazos de Granero, a la que tengo un mínimo de espacio, le pega Granero. Bueno, pues es decirlo, y ahí lo tenemos. El tema es que el remate le ha salido centrado. Abraham, buena pelota, banda derecha. Vamos a ver qué hace ahí Fran Rodríguez. Se mete en el área, sigue Fran. ¡Qué bien, Fran! Se va de 2, el remate, ¡fuera!
¡Chicos!
A ver si acierta. ¡Claro que
Ven
sí!
acá.
Busca el Barrio el segundo gol. Arche. Arche para Gil. Gil que le puede pegar a este Gil. Buen recorte. Gil al palo. Le manda Arche.
¡Dios! ¡No, no, 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 no! Madre mía, qué parada. Y a centímetros del remate, ¿eh?
No, la reacción ha sido impresionante. ¡El disparo! ¡Madre de Dios! ¡Otro que vuela! ¡Otro más! Que está la pelota para John de la Cruz, la quiere levantar, vuelve a pegar la pelota en el cuerpo de un jugador del Barrio, el remate con la puntera y acaba deteniendo al Gerard Vacas. Será córner favorable a 1K. Bueno, a ver.
Gol doble.
Gol doble. A ver, saque de banda. Balón puesto en movimiento, intentaba rematar Mar Valiente, el remate, ¡gol! ¡Baufer! ¡Gol! ¡Del Barrio! ¡Le pegó con el alma! ¡Baufer!
Y es…
¡Penalti
¡Madre
normal!
mía lo de los penaltis!
¡Penalti normal! Y el que quiere hacer el 0-3 es el número 4, pega Valiente. ¡Vaya cañón! ¡Gol! Ahí están, Arnold y Vacas como candidatos, como guardametas, y también Mar Valiente y Pau Feroz con la recuperación. Tiene la pelota al Barrio que puede sentenciar el remate. ¡Gol!
Knockout.
¡Gol!
¡Let's go, Barria! Ponme el 5, ponme el 5, ponme el 5.
El cambio del partido ha sido radical en los últimos 10 minutos. El balón que lo tiene. ¡Ojo!
¡Ay, ay, 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 ay! Jaimitada.
Marca de nuevo el Barrio, gol de Fran Fuentes. El equipo de Juan Arroita, que no ganaba un encuentro con esta tranquilidad, entre comillas, al final, con un margen tan amplio, con 2 goles dobles que han hecho pasar el partido del 0-3 al 0-7.
Paufer, ha costado, pero por fin ha llegado esa victoria tan deseada con goleada.
Ha costado mucho, pero bueno, le damos emoción hasta el momento final, recta final, y ahora, pase lo que pase con Pío, nos lo jugaremos contra ellos.
Eso te iba a decir, pase lo que pase con Pío, la semana que viene, o ellos, o tú, o tu ex equipo, o tú.
Bueno, o el Barrio o ellos, pero sí. La vida, yo qué sé, no sé, son cosas muy raras que suceden, pero ahí estaremos. Ahora estoy en el Barrio, así que espero que gane el Barrio.
Enhorabuena y a disfrutarlo.
Gracias.